There is a lot of value in experience, and that's what Morgan State has both on the field and off the field with their graduate student at wide receiver, Wesley Wolfolk. And we're now joined here with wide receiver Wesley Wolfolk of Morgan State. Wesley, I appreciate you taking time.
Appreciate you having me.
I wanted to get to talk to you, man, because you're a graduate student. You've been around for a while. You've played a lot of football. And I know we were coming off the COVID-19 season of 2020 where you guys at Morgan State didn't play spring ball, but everyone in college football got that extra year to come back and get out there on the field. What went into your decision to return to play? Because a lot of guys just decided they were done with their careers and just went on about their way, but you decided to come back, play another year at Morgan. What went into that decision and why?
Well, I think the biggest factor for me was just I love football. It was just another opportunity, and my year was still available for me. I know we all anticipated playing the 2020 season in the fall, actually, and things just didn't work out for us COVID-wise. But, yeah, I had no thoughts in my mind about not playing. You know, I still have a dream of making it to the NFL, so I wanted to pursue that, and it was just also another opportunity to help me get this master's. So this semester I'll be finishing that. So a lot of good things went into it. So I just stayed patient and put the work in, and now we're here.
And congratulations on getting that master's, man. I know how important that is and how important education is to you as well, going out
Yes,
there
sir.
and getting 2 degrees before it's over with. You said you wanted to play in the NFL. We'll get to that in a second. But you also
Mm-hmm.
said that you want to be a sports analyst, sports broadcast. Now, you luckily be joined here with a guy that's in that industry right now. What is it
Mm-hmm.
about being on this side of the camera, being with this microphone, that is something that you wanted to do?
Well, I just find it interesting the background of football, just being a player. You know the ins and outs of practice, and you know the process of how that happens. And as a football fan, I always was interested in just doing your job. You know, being on that side of the field. So, uh, you know, if things work out and that's where I end up, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Listen, man, it's a fun industry. You get to watch football every weekend. You get to talk about it. You
Mhm.
don't get hit anymore. So all that stuff is just all that's all gravy for me. But jumping back to the NFL side of things, what I like about your game, height, weight, speed, right? You got all those measurables. You're checking all those boxes, but
Mhm.
you do a great job of playing without the football, and that tells me how much you care about your teammates and how much you love the game. So, what is it about the game that you love the most?
Phew, that's a tough question. I mean, everything. You know, football is it's a brotherhood. You know, it teaches you a lot of life lessons that um, people who haven't played probably haven't experienced. You know, it's a lot of adversity you have to fight. Especially me, you know, being through a lot of being in college so long. You know, it's I've been on different teams and around different people, and just you learn about people, you learn people's tendencies, and those things help you a lot in the real world. So I think football is just, and it's also the ultimate team sport. So you know, it's just a lot of things, but I love everything about the game.
You know, it's funny because I remember you back at Hampton. I was on the broadcast when you guys played Monmouth, and you did a good job again in that game. And I see
Yeah.
you, at Morgan doing a good job. Success just follows you, especially at that position. And one thing that was really that impressed me the most was the fact that you're able to play inside or out. Boundary side, field side, or inside in the slot. You've thrown a touchdown pass before. You
Yeah.
return punts. You do a lot of things. So when you look at your skill set, break down your game. Where do you feel as though is your best trait, and where do you feel as though you're being underrated?
Um, I think my best trait is, like you said, just being versatile. I played quarterback in high school, and I was recruited to Hampton as a quarterback, so I played a little quarterback there. Never started at quarterback in the game, but you know, that was my original dream was to be a quarterback. So I think from there, you got to know everything. You know, especially playing under Coach Connell Main at Hampton, you got to know everything. No questions about it. If you want to be that guy, you got to know what the defense is doing, fronts, run game, and as well as the passing game. So when I moved out to receiver, it was like a weight off my shoulders, really, because now I can just run routes and block people. I think that was a big thing. So yeah, I think my best trait is being versatile. I think underrated. I think probably my speed. You know, I think a lot of people say, "Oh, he's big," or you know, on film it might not look as fast as people would think. And I don't run a 4.3, but I can definitely run. I think that's where I'm underrated at.
It's funny. I'm glad you brought up the 4-3 because I didn't run a 4-3. Not many people run 4-3, man. I'm so sick of these high school
Exactly.
student athletes thinking everybody run 4-3. That is rare
Exactly.
to run a 4-3, man. So
Yes.
rare.
Very, very, very
But
rare.
but I'm
Very
glad you
rare,
brought up
man.
your versatility because and your quarterback background because it kind of helps you keep things calm on the field. And another thing that stands out about you when you watch you play is the leadership and you
Mm.
being a graduate student and being a guy that's been around for at least 5 years playing this game. The team kind of looks at you as a leader and you kind of do a great job of keeping things calm. Do you find yourself taking on that leadership role when you're out there on the field, and how does that play amongst your teammates?
Yeah, definitely. I was elected a captain by my teammates, so that's something I really take serious. The coaches don't vote on those things for our team. The players do. So that meant a lot to me when I got that captainship. And like you said, just shoot, going back to however long I can remember, I always wanted to be a quarterback, and I was, a big thing. I would always watch YouTube videos of Tom Brady story and Aaron Rodgers and all these guys. And the biggest thing is they have total control from the quarterback position, and I think that's something that never left me. Just being able to get guys together. Being able to read people. I mean, I love people. I'm a people person, so that I think that helps my leadership a lot. But yeah, when we're on the field, man, especially with this team, this is actually it's crazy. I was just talking to one of my friends about it. This is the youngest team I've ever been on. Any other team I've been on, including the 2019 Morgan team, was senior heavy. Transfers, grad students, all those type of things. And we had some transfers and some grad students, but a lot of them will be returning next year. And a lot of guys we have, they haven't played a lot of snaps in college. I will before this season. So, I don't mind taking on that role. I don't mind it at all, and I try to do whatever I can to help the team.
When people talk about the quarterback position, they always and they break it down on what's vital. Oh, he has to have the accuracy. He has to be able to understand what's going on out there, from a coverage standpoint. But no one ever breaks down the receiver position. So take us under that helmet and let us know what you look at or what goes into your week of work as you go out there and prep for a game. Because we know what the quarterbacks do. People tend to
Mhm.
understand a little bit about what the a defensive end's job is against the left tackle, but no one talks about the receiver in that game within the game.
Yeah, oh man, it's awesome. I think just starting first, you got to know your opponent. You got to know who you're going against in terms of both corners. Because a lot in college, I mean, it's not like the NFL where you see a lot of those top corners following the best receiver or whatever the case. Most college teams, especially in our conference, they play what they play. So you got to know your opponent. That's the first thing. And then you got to know how hard they play, how they play versus press, how hard they versus blocks. Do they like to tackle? There's a lot of things just watching the film. And then you got to know yourself as well. What do I do well that helps me be able to beat this guy? Is he a smaller guy? Is he a bigger guy? If he's my size, what do I do um, better than him to help me win on a route or versus press? Just breaking down the film. And I think the biggest thing is just knowing yourself and being prepared uh, that week. Working within the techniques of what the coaches are saying, working within the techniques that and then most of all, working within the play. So. And I think the biggest thing is being on the same page as the quarterback. You go through the week and we watch a film together, or we're just talking about things that we've seen on film that can help us get an edge for the game. So yeah, it's a lot of fun preparing for a receiver.
And it's fun to watch you guys go out there and execute because when it's on the same page and when it's clicking at one time, it's a beautiful thing because that's when the big
Mhm.
plays happen. That's when the continuity happens. Like just this past weekend against North Carolina Central, you guys had your best game offensively, just kind of working the offense, going all up and down the field. And,
Mhm.
and I also think that Morgan to me is one of those are one of those teams. I never have to worry about you guys 'cause I know eventually it'll get turned around
Mhm.
and you guys have been close. You've been close, but you're actually on the team currently. How close is this football team to finally breaking through? Because you talked about the youth, and we know it takes time for youth to really get up to speed. So you guys have been close. How close are you guys to breaking through?
Man, it's kind of annoying to hear, even from you and the coaches, and even from each other. We say it all the time how close we are. We're right there. I mean, if we take two steps, we're right there. Right across that line where we want to be, of just getting the win. Obviously it's football, so even in Alabama, it's not easy to get a win. And especially the high standards that Coach Weeby sets for us, and the way he wants us to play the game, 4 quarters, tough, fast, physical football. But we're really close. I think we're really close, and the young guys are understanding it more and more, and we're all getting impatient. The coaches, the staff, everybody's impatient. Nobody wants to go out there and just not win a game. That's not fun for anybody. That's not what we put the work in for. But it sucks to hear each week. But even yesterday, we watched the film. We're right there. Like you said, we're moving the ball up and down the field. We only were able to score 17, but it's just a couple plays. Each game has been a couple plays that could have sparked the game, whether it give us momentum, we take over, or give us a lead. It's just been a couple plays each game. So I think going into this week, we just got to continue to do what we're doing, stay on the same path, and correct those small things so those plays that have been hurting us can work in our favor for this week.
I'm big on comparisons, and one name that constantly popped up in my head while I was watching you play over the course of your time at Morgan was Hines Ward. I see someone that's versatile. He could do so many different things. He loves to block. He's finding soft spots in the zone consistently. He can make it the contested catch, or he can, pull away from a defender and beat someone by stacking and accelerating to the football. When you look at your game, who would you compare your style to? But also, who are some of the guys that you're watching now and taking pieces of their game and adding it to yours?
Well, you know, just kind of going back to the speed thing, I always a guy I really, really love to watch his game is Larry Fitzgerald. Love his game so much, as well as DeAndre Hopkins. Those are two guys that I try a lot to model my game after, just getting the contested catches, using my body, knowing how to do those things. And then the next two guys, and my favorite receiver, Devontae Adams. Um, the way he wins off the line is second to none. He's obviously the best receiver in the NFL. And then the other guy's Keenan Allen. Watching those two guys, two of the best at the line, two of the best in and out their breaks, and they're my size. Everybody's not Tyreek Hill. He's him. So I watch Tyreek Hill, and like you said, talking about watching and studying the game, I study every receiver. From rookies to older guys. I watch Jerry Rice. I just try to find a lot of things, whatever can work for me, to make me better. But yeah, definitely Larry Fitz, DeAndre Hopkins type. I think that's how I play.
That's a good combination of guys too, because when you think about it, they all kind of have that one trait, like you talked about, line of scrimmage. If you can win there, you can win anywhere. It doesn't matter if you're
Hmm.
at Morgan, at Florida State, or playing for the Detroit Lions. You're gonna win if you're able to win at the line of scrimmage. And
Yeah,
you've been winning a long time, man. You've been doing a great job out there for Morgan, being a leader, being a consistent playmaker for the Bears. Before we get out of here, just want to ask you, give some shout out to Morgan State. How special is that place down in Baltimore?
man, it's very special, man. And it's kind of tough, when you just think about what we've been through this year in terms of not winning. But it's a great place. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a lot of great people there. It's a family environment all around the campus. From the cafeteria to your professors, to just people in stores around there. Wanting to see us do well. So I think a lot of people will see more of the campus, and how great the campus is in terms of just campus wise and regular day living. But athletics is all going in the right direction. I know recently we had the preseason player of the year in women's and men's basketball in the MEAC this season. And both the men's and women's basketball teams are projected to finish second. I think they're going to win it. I'm going for us right now. I'm calling it. We're going to win both. And the football team's coming along. A lot of youth, like I said, and these guys are hungry. I think all they got to do in the future is just stay together, and then hopefully we can go out here and continue to fight and get these last couple games, go on a win streak to help those guys for next season. Because at the end of the day, I knew going into this year, whether we go undefeated or whatever the case, I want to leave a part of me in this team. So when they continue to go on, that's why I talk to freshmen so much because it's their team. You know, I know a lot of coaches preach how much the seniors and we got to do it for the seniors, and I understand it. And being a senior, I agree with that. But shoot, I just remember when I was a redshirt freshman and it was like senior day, I'm trying to go out there and get mine too, you know. So I think those young guys we have, again, are just hungry, man. And um, like you said, talked about how close we are. You know, it's crazy you say that because that's exactly what we preach day in and day out. You know, after practice, before practice, we're right there. We just got to lock in on those small things. And I think it's going to be a very, very special place to be, Morgan. Morgan's going to be awesome soon, very soon.
I'm glad you said that, man. As well stated, because I was going to say you want to leave the place in better condition than when you found it, and you
Hmm.
have definitely left your mark not only on the football field but at that position. And guys will try to emulate you moving forward. We'll talk to some guys 4 years from now, and they're going to say, "Oh man, I want to be like Wesley Wolfolk. I want to be like him out there." And that's the type of impact that you've had on this football team. They may not say it because they may be shy to give somebody props, but they'll
Yeah.
let you know when we all in our well, you're in your 30s and 40s. I'll be in my 50s by the time they let you know that you had that big of an impact on them. So, Wesley, again, good luck this week against Norfolk State, and good luck the rest of the way. And we'll be seeing you down the line. I know you'll be playing on Sundays as well.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot for real.